So what's up, you guys? My name is Benjamin Eisenman, and I'm here to give you a review on the book Letting Go by David Hawkins. This has actually been an quite interesting experience. If you don't know the book by David Hawkins, this is actually an amazing book. It's changed many lives as far as I know, and it was recommended to me by a guy called Julian Blank, he has a channel called Julian himself. I'll try to keep this review as sincere and honest as possible, while at the same time just making it like not long or not short or maybe medium. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the flow and just give you my honest take on the book. And basically what I'm gonna say is my experience with the book, what I went through, how to feel after 6 months of practicing the letting go technique, and I'm gonna tell you basically what the book is about. So David Hawkins is a very famous doctor and physician. He studies kinesiology, in which you evaluate the maps of consciousness of human beings and analyze the feelings that go and the truth and falsehood of things by doing something called muscle testing. And he basically grabs people's arms, they hold it like this, and someone else pushes down the arm, and if the arm goes down really easily, it means the statement that they said is false, or the thing that you mentioned or the picture that they showed you is not beneficial for you or for humanity. At the same time, when something is beneficial and something is really good for humanity, or something is true, whether it's a statement about the present or past, or something that will be beneficial to you, like taking a project on or doing something specific with your life that you're not sure if it's going to be successful, you basically put your arm out, and if the arm goes strong and you can't lower it that easily, it means the statement is true or the thing that you're mentioning is beneficial. And letting go is more of a take on a technique. More than that technique, the muscle testing, it brings up about a subject called the letting go technique. And basically there are many ways to interpret the letting go technique. First of all, it could be interpreted as basically you're surrendering yourself to feeling the negative feelings you have in order to let them go, in order to let them run out, let that energy just leave your body, leave the energy, because you're just letting it be without resisting it, and then slowly advancing up the levels of consciousness until you get to a level of love, peace, or joy, whatever you want to call it, which is the maximum states of a human being can go to before enlightenment, which is where Mother Teresa and maybe Dalai Lama and maybe Jewish sages or Jesus was. So I'm gonna state my experience on this, but first tell you what the letting go technique is. And the letting go technique basically consists, there are many ways to do it. The way I do it personally is just every time that a negative thought, or well, at least a negative thought associated with a negative feeling comes up, I just say to myself, I am constantly reminding myself to let the feeling be, let myself feel it without taking action on any single thought that the feeling pushes me to do, and just feeling it in the moment, whether I'm in the car, on a plane, in my room, or working, or with people around me. Whatever it is, I just grab the letting go technique, I use it, and I say, I am constantly letting go of this feeling as I let it be. And by thinking that, I notice when something like fear arouses, or maybe desire of something that will really not be mine, for example an ex-girlfriend, or maybe something I really not know if it's going to be mine, like a want and desire, then it's not really possible it's not really realistic to achieve right now because of the certain conditions that's going on in COVID. Whatever it is, I just let the feeling be and I just let it go. And the thing is, the world is filled with opportunities to let go. Like, I feel if somebody says something that bothers you, or if you have a thought that bothers you, or if you have a feeling of missing your ex-girlfriend or missing somebody you love and you're not with anymore, you can just constantly let go of the feeling. And just David Hawkins proposes a technique. He talks about how you can go from from shame to apathy to fear, then to desire, then to courage, and then you go up and up and up until it reaches maximum levels I talked about before. And I'm going to tell you my experience now. Letting go started first with me discovering the book, searching for ways to let go of my ex-girlfriend. So it was around 2020, mid-2020, something like that, when I decided to myself, like, I contacted a friend, I said, dude, I'm really desperate, I don't know what to do, I'm just keep thinking about this girl, it's disrupting my life every day, and I don't know how to move on. So I told him, give me something I can listen to, or a podcast. I've always been into self-development, so I like that. And he said, well, check this video out by Julian Blank. He talks about letting go. And I was like, well, I mean, letting go has always been like a taboo for me. I thought it was like letting go of the person that you loved, or letting go of someone you can't be with, whatever it is, for any reason. Whether it's you're moving out, or you're just, and that person is going to another country, or you can't be with them because of religious purposes, and your religion doesn't let you with, whatever the purpose is, the point is, the reason, doesn't matter. Basically, he told me like, check this video out. So I checked the video out. It was like a lecture, like a 30-minute, 1-hour lecture, and there was various ones. So I started listening to every single lecture I could, and the constant message of letting go kept popping up. And I was like, man, this is like something that really exists. There's a lot of people listening to the guy. There must be some truth to this. So what I did is that I purchased the book recommended by Julian Blank, and I read it in a matter of 2 months. Not short, like not immediately after I watched the videos, but from September to about October, November, something like that. And it was around the time I started dating a girl, like a new girl that I really, really loved with all my heart. We couldn't be together because something personal that happened, but at the same time, I remember that during this process when I was with her, I felt like I could practice the letting go technique at every single point. So we would go to social events with friends, you know, keeping our masks on, obviously, for COVID and everything, keeping safety on. And I would go on to find myself moments where people said things that bothered me, or something happened, or somebody was smoking right next to me, like a friend or whatever, which eventually I got used to, because it's like my friends do it and I don't breathe the smoke. I try to stay away, but at the same time I was like, I'm gonna let go of the feeling of not wanting it, like I'm not desiring not that to happen. And every time I reminded myself, like, oh, I'm thinking of my ex-girlfriend or my dad that passed away 5 years ago, I would say, you know what, I'm letting go of this feeling. And I would literally breathe, like I would go and breathe out, and something happens when you, for some reason, do the act of breathing. When you breathe in and breathe out, for some reason, like your body interprets it as you're inhaling peace, because it's the classic thing we all do when we meditate, if you're into meditation or not. And when we exhale, we just release every single negative energy we have, and that's the point of it. So I would breathe a few times and it would work. Another way of letting go that I discovered was when I talked to my uncle, and he said, like, dude, he didn't say dude, but he basically said, so he said, yo, I'm gonna give you advice. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think about this. He told me the letting go technique has been with us for thousands of years. He said, the simple act of believing, if you believe in God or the universe or whatever, the simple act of thinking about something related to to let go of any event in your life, like a thought will only go away if you give it a good reason to get away. But this time it's like the feelings. You let the feeling be and you let it go. So if you're in bed thinking about somebody, my uncle told me, like, just believe that whatever, everything that God does is for a reason, and you know, everything's for the good, and ultimately all is always well, and whatever happened had to happen, you know, stuff like that. Thoughts like those are the ones that bring about the opportunity to let go, because you immediately if you don't immediately grab the thought or the feeling and just notice it right away what the feeling or the thought is, specifically the feeling, you will maybe enter a train of thought where you just fall, and then you have to make a higher effort to let go, which is not bad, but at the same time it's better to do it at first when the feeling arises. I think it's better to do it this way, but at the same time, I remember when I started practicing that technique, and my uncle told me like the simple way of doing it, which was thinking like with faith or whatever, it also worked. And so finally, this girl, the new girl, and I broke up in January of this year, and because of personal reasons as well. But she told me something, and I was like kind of prepared, because I thought she was telling me for a while that this was gonna happen, and maybe we could have broken up beforehand, but we gave it a chance and everything. So when it finally happened, I was kind of more prepared to let go of her, because at first, like the first part of the relationship, I remember I said to myself, like, she doesn't belong to you. Love is not about possession, it's about appreciation and freedom. And I started saying to myself that constantly during the relationship. I would use technique of stoicism to, like, stoicism is something like philosophy from thousands of years ago, from the Greek and everything, Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus and all these kinds of people. And they were great philosophers who pointed Stoicism to us, and now it's practiced by many people in the self-help community. So I used a letting go technique, and I pictured her breaking up with me and dying in my arms, even just because I wanted to be prepared for any single event that could happen, and then soften the blow, let's say. So it did really work. Letting go, faith, whatever you want to call it, it did work. This was an opportunity for me to grow, and I highly recommend you check out the book. You go read it if you can, and if it really interests you, I highly recommend you go check out Power vs. Force and all his other books. I think he has 9 or 8 books, like really on the spot and on point, related to spirituality and everything. And I do believe it's worth checking out also his Audible work, which Letting Go is there, and it's also, if you guys speak Spanish, there's also one called Dejar Ir, which is letting go but in Spanish, so you could grab it if you want. And I recommend that if you're gonna purchase Letting Go and you really want to dig deep down the information, purchase the book and also purchase the Audible book, and then put your headphones on and listen to the Audible as you read the book. And for some reason this works so well that you digest the information even better, because you're getting it from 2 senses at the same time, not only the sight but also the hearing. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. I hope it does work for you guys, whatever you do with the book. I hope it brings you happiness, it brings you faith, it brings you peace and joy and love, and you can ultimately love all human beings for what they are, which is, divine, I believe, divine, spiritual, beautiful creatures that are only light inside. We're all light inside. I believe we all have a soul. I believe we all have, if it's not a soul, maybe a spirit. And this drives us every day. This gives us the energy to keep going. And I mean, nothing can kill the human spirit. Like the soul lives forever, and I believe that whenever we die, we go into a higher plane. And this is just my beliefs, but I hope you guys take this into account, and I hope you guys read the book. Wishing you a lot of success, a lot of happiness, and please let me know in the comments if you checked out the book, if you're interested in it. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see. I'm actually starting this YouTube channel. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I do believe I want to do it really because I was inspired a few days ago. And I just want to say that thank you for watching. Please just leave a comment down below with any video ideas you want. I've also been doing habits for months now, like journaling and taking cold showers and meditating every day and breath work and all that stuff. So I'll be posting new videos soon as weeks go by, and I just sure hope you guys enjoy them. So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace.